Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Gachi's Kaiman TV. There is a narrative that is being sold by the government. There's a propaganda that is being sold to Kenyans that the Somali community will be used to rig the elections. That the government is going to register Somalis to rig the 2027 general election. This is the greatest lie. This is just but propaganda. I want to say this. In Kenya, the number of Somalis are 2.7 million, as per the latest data. Total number, including women, children, the elderly, and everyone else. And this one, when you talk about the Somali are predominantly found in the eastern and Kamukunji. You also find the Somali in refugee camps, specifically Dadaab, which is in Garissa, and Kakuma, which is in Turkana. Now, I want to start by looking at the number of refugees in these two camps. Now, as per the UNHCR data, the number of refugees in the two camps who are of Somali origin are 483,000. 483,000. Less than half a million. Then how is the government going to rig the election using this small number? Now, whether the government registers them, whether the government gives them IDs or not, I'm telling you, this number is too small. Looking at the current situation, maybe in 2022, the government could have done this and maybe Raila could have been declared the president, looking at the margin between Raila and Ruto. But now, looking at the reality, political realities that we're witnessing in Kenya, you agree with me that William Samoei Ruto is very, very unpopular. Now, let's go to Garissa, where you have the Somalis. According to 2022 data, Garissa had 473 registered voters, Wajir had 207, and Madera had 217,030. These are the registered voters. You see now, this number is just too small. Too small. So when people say that the government is going to rig the election using the Somali, this is a hoax. Now, I want us to look at the number of registered voters as per that 1st October, as per Iebc data. And we are talking about newly registered voters. The total number of newly registered voters in Kenya, as per that 1st, I'm talking about less than 10 days ago, was just 90,020. The whole country. So why are they not registering? Why are these Somalis that should be used to rig the elections if the whole country has registered just 90,000? Now, I want to go specifically to where the Somalis are. Northeastern. As per the Iebc data, the newly registered voters, as per that 1st October, was just 561. Less than 1,000. In the 3 constituencies in Northeastern. Imagine. This is shocking. Nairobi, because you also find the Somalis in Nairobi. The total number of newly registered voters in Nairobi was 16,512. Kamukunji is in Nairobi. Nairobi has 17 constituencies. So this one means if you do the average, if you do your maths, you realize that each constituency had registered less than 1,000. So tell me where this number is coming from. The one that will be used to rig William Samoei Ruto. Now, I want us now again to go to Kamukunji. Because Kamukunji is where we have the Somalis. I want to look at the data of 2022 and we look at the ward and specifically where the Somalis are. Kamukunji, the total number of registered voters as per Iebc data of 2022 was 120,516. Now, these are the breakdown for the wards. From one ward, 39,000. And by the way, Pumwani, you have the Kikuyus, the Luos, the Kabas, and the Luhia. And with the 39,000 in Pumwani, the Somalis are actually the minority. Now, come to Isiri North. Isiri North had 27,523 registered voters as per 2022. Here, we agree that these are Somalis, predominantly Somalis. When we talk about Somalis here, we are talking about Kenya Somalis and Somali nationals. They vote 27,523. Isri South, still dominated by the Somalis and the Muslims, you have 20,019. Let's assume even there are no other communities living there. There are no Luos, there are no Luhias, there are no Kabas. Just the Somalis. How are they going to rig the election? Then we have the Iebc ward. Iebc ward is where we have a multicultural community. And here we have about 16,352 registered voters. Then you go to California. California is where you find people who have lived in Nairobi for long. I don't know how I would describe them, but they have been in Nairobi for long, and the total number of registered voters here is 17,402. But here you also realize that it's a place where you have people from multicultural background, but the Somalis are not the dominant tribe. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask this question. Who told you that the Somali can actually be used to rig the elections? How? Because you see, these are the data. This is the data that you have shown. We have the numbers with us. Where is William Samoei Ruto going to get the numbers? Where? Because you see, you cannot say that he's going to rig the election and he doesn't have the numbers. We need the numbers to rig the elections. Now, why is this being used to actually say that the Somalis will be used to rig the election? Number one, the government is playing psychological games, mind games, to show people that William Samoei Ruto, come rain, come sunshine, you'll be declared the president. Number two, we have heard this guy saying that the numbers will be added up. They'll be topped. Tutajaza kikapu. This is the narrative that they are going to use. And because even if all the Somalis were to vote, including women and children, less than 3 billion, how are you going to get the numbers? Including the underage, how are you going to get the numbers? And you see, the kind of Kenyans that we have are so much informed and they are following the data. Remember, there is no way we can have double the population within less than 3 years. You can, in fact, if Iebc is going to do its best, it will be lucky to register 600,000 new voters. The whole country. As per the 2022 Iebc data, the country had about 22,000 registered voters. I'm saying this because, somebody may ask, why are you saying all this? I'm saying this because there's a narrative that is being used to coerce Kenyans to vote for the government. People like to be associated with the winning team. And when people are told that so-and-so is going to win, they like to associate themselves with that team. I know that there's some people who are saying that William Samoei Ruto cannot be defeated. Why? Why can he not be defeated? How can you? No, you cannot defeat a sea of humanity. You can't. An invasion of army can be defeated, but not an idea whose time has come. How? How can you say that you can subvert the will of the people? It is not possible. It is a lie. The data clearly shows that elections will not be rigged using the Somali. Maybe other methods, like when we have the tallying of numbers, maybe Iebc itself will rig the elections, but not using the people who vote on the ground. It is very, very difficult at this era. What I know is that AI is going to play a major role. And people must be very, very careful when it comes to voting. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think the Somalis will be used to rig the election? Is this even possible? Guys, please like the video. If you've never subscribed to this channel, please do. Share and leave a comment. This is Gashi Skyman. Bye-bye.